I think you're gonna like this one. I'm really excited to present you with New Age by Benjamin Moore, which to me seems like an evolution on the eternally hated on color known as gray. There might be some of you looking at this right now and you're thinking to yourself, that looks pretty gray, James. What are you even doing? You're not fooling me. But what if I told you that New Age was actually a purple in disguise? And that's because of its undertones that are only especially visible when you pair it with other colors. Now, if you're a bit overwhelmed, please do not fret, because I'm going to use this video to go through Benjamin Moore New Age with. I'll tell you all that technical stuff that you should know about it, and also how I might use this color in my home if you held a grayish purple gun to my head. That was a bit brutal, James, jeez. This also marks our final 2023 Benjamin Moore color trends video in this whole series, where I essentially reviewed all of the colors they selected for the upcoming year. I wanted to end with this one because it has the most potential to be implemented as a wall color right now in your home, I think, especially compared to the other more dynamic and polarizing choices like my friend Savannah Green. Hey friend, I do seem to have a soft spot for it though. Just me? So let's start to break this color down a little bit. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is what kind of color is it, generally speaking? I almost lump it into the nearly neutral category because it's soft and desaturated enough where it doesn't read as like grape juice purple, but I would not categorize it as a gray either, though some people might. And I think you start to see that purple undertone more prominently once you have it next to a pure white background or a surrounding white ceiling or baseboard, like in this picture. You can't tell me that's gray. And if you do, then let's agree to disagree. Okay. So a strategy that I've been applying with a lot of these trendy colors is I try and compare them to colors that I've already used in my home or in another person's home. For example, if you're a fan of neutral colors, specifically the gray palette, then New Age could be a fresh new take on gray, one that is altered a little bit with a purple undertone. The good thing about the clear use of purple here is you know what you're getting right from the jump. There are some neutrals that I've used in the past, namely Collingwood, which is beautiful. You don't necessarily see any purple in it, but sometimes in certain lighting conditions, that purple comes through. New Age, it's purple. Like, easy peasy. Benjamin Moore describes New Age as soft and ethereal, which it is both of those things in my opinion. The one thing I will say though is it's technically a little bit darker than I thought when I first saw it in person. And I mean technically speaking, when I looked at its light reflectance value, which is that 0 to 100 scale that lets us know the percentage of light that a color reflects, New Age is right around 63. So that means it scores a 63 on the lightness scale, I guess you could say. Personally, I'm a big fan of paint colors for walls that are in that 60s range. It's a very popular place to be when you're thinking about wall color specifically. And that's because it has enough depth where it's too dark to feel like it's just a white or an off-white, but it's not going to feel too dark to a lot of people because it's not even in mid-tone territory really, where you might be scared to use it in your dimly lit rooms. This color, you'll be okay, I think. At any rate, if your plan is to use this inside your home as a fun twist on gray, just be aware that that purple undertone will be more apparent than you might expect. But of course, you can see this for yourself if you're testing your colors out, right? Please test your colors. I could see this being used in several different areas of your home, especially if you gravitate towards the purple colors and reds and even browns and taupes. And if you're thinking, what are those colors, James? Tell me. Well, I will tell you because I already did the work and selected 4 of my own paint color choices and also a 5th color taken from the rest of the color trends palette to work alongside New Age. This gives you so many different options to play around with, so much fun, so much color. I mean, you can always have more, but 5 is a good place to start, right? We can start with a white paint color pairing called Frostine. The name sort of gives its undertones away because it's a crispy, slightly cool white. I guess you can call it a bit frosty-ine. It's very clean and stark, and it sort of complements New Age with a bit of a green hint, I would say, that's present, which allows them to contrast really nicely. This would be your white paint color choice anywhere you would need white, which is most commonly used on things like ceilings and baseboards. You can also throw doors and frames in the mix and casings and all that, even crown molding, why not? The light color pairing is from the same color collection as Frostine, the AF colors, although this one has a little more depth and it's perhaps a touch more warm as well. It's called Fossil, and I would deem it as a traditional grayish color. Some people would deem it as a safe choice, and I would probably agree with them, because when you're starting with a purpley color, it's probably a good idea to have more of a traditional color to sort of balance things out, a bit of an out or a safe choice that you can build around more easily. Fossil could be the predominant color in a space on the walls, which can allow New Age to pop off that much more. The mid-tone color choice is almost a blend of New Age and Fossil in a slightly deeper neutral color called Mocha Cream. And it's an example of a paint color that can sometimes have a purple undertone based on its mix of gray and red, but compared to New Age, which will actually look a lot more purple, it's a softer color in general. I think Mocha Cream is both a great connector between New Age and Fossil, and it's also just another slightly deeper alternative neutral color if you wanted something a little more substantial for a specific room. Because lighter colors aren't always the answer. Sometimes we just want a little more color, a little more saturation, and that's what this gives you. Our dark color pairing is more heavy-handed with its use of purple, and its name suggests that. I love me some Cabernet 2116-30, although I'm more of a Beaujolais boy. Bougie. It's Thursday, we're having fun, or Friday or Saturday or any other day that you're watching this. So the relationship that New Age and Cabernet have are so intertwined because even though they have a huge difference in darkness, they share so many similarities in terms of their undertones. Both are sort of purple and kind of grayish, although Cabernet has a lot more of both. It seems like this earthy slate purple almost that is deep yet still somehow soft. It's a wonderful accent color choice on the walls next to New Age, and that's largely because they are part of that same family. You can also pair them together in nearby rooms where you have maybe New Age in a bathroom and then Cabernet in a corresponding bedroom, for example. So you have that connection of color hue, but not in the exact same space, just an adjacent space. There's a lot of ways you can use these colors together specifically. They just work together really well. But when we're talking about these 7 other color trends choices that I enjoy with New Age, I gotta hand it to Conch Shell. You know, good old Tofino Sunset, whatever you want to call it. It's that beautiful, peachy, almost skin tone color. You could say that the two together are some of the more tame options from the whole palette, but when combined, they really accentuate each other's color hues in a fun way. You know, peach and purple existing on a slightly muted scale. But all of these colors are based on Raspberry Blush, which is the Benjamin Moore Color of the Year for 2023. And you can find out all about it in this video right here. Just like this video, I want to give you some color pairings for it that work really, really well so you can explore color this year.